heroes. In a few moments, you'll hear a story of a legacy of honor and remembrance that reaches across the Atlantic and spans the time for nearly 70 years. I'll provide some background information on that, but first, on behalf of the Mississippi Veterans Affairs Board, thank you to Governor Bryant for including us today and for his unwavering support of our Mississippi veterans of all generations. We're grateful to all our guests for being here, and let me introduce some of our guests. First of all, Mr. Bert Eggen and his wife Thea from Vorendal, the Netherlands. The family of Staff Sergeant Earl Jenkins, specifically his brother Clyde Jenkins, and Mr. William Jenkins, who is his nephew, and there are a number of other family members from the Jenkins family here with us today. Also, our Adjutant General, Major General Leon Collins is with us. Mr. Bill Perkins, State Commander of Mississippi Department of the Veterans of Foreign Wars. Mr. Danny Williams, Adjutant of the Mississippi Department of the Veterans of Foreign Wars. Mr. Hugh Long, who is Chairman of the Mississippi Council of Veterans. General Wayne Burks, who is the Chairman of the State Veterans Affairs Board. Mr. Jim McIntyre from the Flag Source, who is one of the folks providing the flags here along with the VFW. Mr. Chad Daniels, Executive Director of the Mississippi Armed Forces Museum. And Mr. Reuben Oates, I believe I see you back there, who's here representing Senator Cochran's office. And I believe back there is also Mr. Hayes Camp of the State Veterans Affairs Board. We have some very, very special guests with us here today. And if you can stand, please do. If not, just raise your hand so that we can see you and recognize you. Mr. Howard Muskelly, a World War II veteran of the United States Army and a former member of the Mississippi Veterans Affairs Board. Mr. Milton McMullen, United States Air Force, veteran of World War II and an ex-POW of World War II. Mr. Albert Squire, a veteran of the United States Army, World War II. Mr. Julius Bethel, United States Army, veteran of World War II. Mr. William Hardy, veteran of the United States Army, World War II. And Mr. George Self, serving in the United States Army, World War II. I'll give you just a little brief background on why we're here today. In 1946, John Eggen, that's Mr. Bert Eggen's father, adopted the grave in Margraten American Cemetery, the Netherlands, of Staff Sergeant Earl Jenkins from Winona, Mississippi, an expression of his gratitude for what the United States had done to liberate Europe in World War II. As a child, Bert Eggen became part of the tradition of honor, visiting that grave with his father often. Staff Sergeant Jenkins' body was returned to the United States in 1949 and is buried now in Choctaw County. After that, the Eggens continued to care for the graves of American soldiers at Margraten, and Bert himself adopted the grave of John Rutherford, also from Mississippi. Mr. Eggen was able to make contact with the Jenkins family and attends their annual family reunion as a part of their family each year. In May, Mr. Eggen contacted the governor's office requesting assistance in obtaining 98 Mississippi flags that would be placed on each of the graves of the Mississippi fallen in the Margraten Cemetery on Memorial Day 2014. The staff of the governor's office and the Mississippi Veterans Affairs Board began working on that request, and we sincerely appreciate the Mississippi Department of the Veterans of Foreign Wars and the Flag Source who are here today for donating the flags to honor our Mississippi heroes at Margraten. It is now my sincere pleasure to introduce our Governor, Phil Bryant, a true champion for all our Mississippi veterans. Governor Bryant.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here today. As a young 17-year-old boy Sullivan's Hollow, my dad left Smith County and went off to war. As I think back about the brief times that he would discuss his friends, his buddies that served with him, and the joy that it brought to him, remembering those days, even in the hardship of the Marshall Islands and the South Pacific for a young boy that had never been outside the boundaries of Smith County before he went off to war. The heroes that I see here today, both from World War II and those that continue to serve, such as General Leon Collins, who fought valiantly in the war against terror, all that support these wonderful veterans and their cause. Today is a very special day for us. We have friends from abroad, friends who have not only taken on the task of helping honor the fallen in foreign wars, but are here today in Mississippi. They have returned time and time again to join their friends, the Jenkins family, for those that were in remembrance of Army Staff Sergeant Earl Jenkins. So Bert and Tia have come from the Netherlands. So far away, I'm almost sure that Staff Sergeant Jenkins had never imagined of being on those foreign soils in the Netherlands and fighting to free the world of tyranny. But in fact, he paid the highest price to do so. John Eggen, the father of Bert, began, as you heard earlier, their tradition of decorating the grave of Staff Sergeant Jenkins. As his remains were removed to his homeland, their tradition continued with 98, and some would say even 99. There's one discussion of a young man that we think may have originated from Grenada, Mississippi, but for all of those graves of our fallen heroes on foreign soil in the Netherlands, we will place a Mississippi flag. And to Bert and Tia, we thank you so much for, again, coming to Mississippi, coming to the United States, and over 70 years later, remembering these fallen heroes that lie in the Netherlands. Eternally young men, that greatest generation. So it is the least that we can do today to thank Bert, to thank the Jenkins family for coming, for continuing to remind us that heroes have always been here with us. And they will continue to serve and protect this great nation. Today, young men give their lives on the battlefield for similar causes, freedom and liberty, to make sure that tyranny does not rule the world, that the beliefs of the American soul, freedom and justice, the enduring legacy of those that have fought, the loved and the lost, will continue. So today these flags will travel abroad to the Netherlands, and the Eggens will post them on Memorial Day at the 98 graves of Mississippians who fell during World War II and are buried there at the Netherlands American Cemetery. Bert, Thea, our endearing thanks go out to you. We would like to present a flag that we hope is symbolic of the many flags that you will carry. This particular Mississippi flag has flown over this Capitol. Salute to your efforts, Staff Sergeant Jenkins. We hope that you will have an opportunity to remember Mississippi by the semblance of our state flag and our enduring gratitude for your work and for your benevolence to our American heroes. Thank you so much. The American flag sword, a complete flag sword, but also an American flag sword. Again, one of our Mississippi flags. Thank you, sir. It will be placed on the flag. Thank you. Thank you.
This concludes our event, and for our media, if you have questions, the governor and Mr. Eggen will be available for just a few minutes. Yes, sir, absolutely.
Well, I want to take this opportunity to bring over my thanks. First of all to Governor Bryant, who took the time and the opportunity to be with us here today. Then of course to Mr. Holyfield, who did a lot of work to present these flags today to us. Mr. Jim McIntyre, who made this beautiful flag. And by the way, I don't know if you're familiar with the Dutch flag, but we have red, white, blue. So there must be a connection between Holland and Mississippi. And last but not least, I want to thank all the members of the Jenkins family, because every time we come over to here, it feels like our second home, and we owe them a lot of respect for their hospitality and their kindness. And we hope we can come several years back to Mississippi and enjoy it here, because we love your country. Thank you.
If there are any questions from our media, from Mr. Eggen, or the Eggen family, or the governor, we have just a couple of moments.
I think we'll be available after.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you, Randy.
Bye.